Today on another episode with my 1988 Saab 900 Turbo project, I wanted to go ahead and start cleaning up the cosmetic issues on this car, particularly on the front end. In this video, we are by no means going to be addressing the paint issues on this car. You can see the paint has some spots on the hood where it's not very good. It also has some spots on the roof which are bad, and the hatch is bad as well, and then just some random spots here and there where it's not perfect. We're not going to be addressing paint issues. The only body related stuff I want to do today is try to fix this hood a little bit. So you can see at one point or another there was an accident. They must have hit something and the hood just got pushed forward and down a little bit. You can see there's a little bit of a crease right here on it. We did try and fix it temporarily. We got this dent out a little bit, but the issue is this hood line here is supposed to be straight across. And in this section right here, it's pushed down. So I'm gonna try a couple different ways to hopefully fix this and just pull it back. It's by no means going to look perfect because you can see the paint's already coming off here. There's a little bit of paint missing right here. So I'm really just trying to get it functional again, because when I close the hood, I don't wanna have to worry about if it'll close, whatever. You can see when it closes, it's kind of hitting against the headlight a little bit. Now, obviously this corner light and headlight cracked because of the whatever little minor accident it was in. But speaking of those, we actually have a new corner light and a new headlight sitting right up here. And then we also have a new passenger side headlight as well, because if you look at this headlight, while it looks nice and pretty, there's a bunch of tabs and stuff that are broken. It's held in by tape everywhere. So I'd like to replace that. And I figure since we're focusing on the front end, I picked up this little turbo badge off the SPG at the Junkyard. So this grill, coincidentally, already has the little holes to mount it to. I think the easiest way will be to remove the grill to probably mount it, but we'll see. And then I just have this mirror glass that fell off of the passenger side when we were loading the car onto the trailer. Thankfully I got it right before it fell off, but you can see this is kind of loose and broken. But that's another problem. We really just want to stick the glass back on there so I can see. And what I think we're going to try here is I have some vice grips. I have some padding so we can protect the paint. This is just padding that I use in my tool chest. I have a bunch left over, and we'll just kind of like put this around the hood to protect the paint, get the vice grips on there and just try and pull it up. I don't know if it's going to work, but let's try it. So worked on this a bit more. Used a combination of this pad. This wood stick actually helped a lot in putting that on there. And it's not perfect by any means, but this is all pretty even now, which is the important part. So again, not perfect, but there's not really any extra damage to the paint that wasn't there before. So pull out this headlight now, which is very broken. The mounts and stuff are broken. See? That's great. Good old plastic. There we go, that works too. All three of these plugs look very similar, so I went ahead and took a picture of each one and which thing it's connected to, so I can hopefully not mix them up next when I put the new one on. Cool. So this is the new Junkyard headlight for the passenger side, which I haven't gotten to yet, but you can see there's sort of two parts to this headlight. There's this plastic bracket and then there's the actual headlight itself. So the previous owner only gave me the new headlight and not the bracket. So I removed the bracket and I'm trying to figure out how these go together, but it looks like this bracket is broken. You can see that. I don't know if it's broken from the crash or what, but I don't know how this is possibly supposed to attach how this one is right here. So I might have to run to the Junkyard and get the other bracket and headlight entirely. Meanwhile though, I'm gonna go ahead and remove this headlight. I'm currently setting it in the corner of the garage, and well, there's not really much room to film over here, so it's just gonna be the same thing as the other side over there though. Here we go. This turbo badge mounts with these two little metal pins, and there's some metal clips on the back here. The grill has two little tabs there, so I figured since I had everything else apart, the grill was just two more bolts. I'd just take it off to make this easier. So what I'm going to do is slide these metal clips off here. Now we'll slide our turbo badge in just like that. Come around to the back side. I think the easiest way to push this on is just with a set of pliers. I'm just going to use the tip of the pliers to sort of push it on gently, since I can get a good amount of surface area on there. And there we go. There's our turbo badge mounted. I did notice one thing is the turbo badge kind of is like up at an angle like this. I checked on the back, and that's how it's supposed to be, I guess. So it looks a little bit weird, but I'm gonna go ahead and reinstall the passenger headlight over there and the corner light. This video keeps getting more and more interesting. This was supposed to be a pretty straightforward, simple video, but clearly it's not turning into that. So like I said, I'm gonna need a new one of these brackets for the driver's side headlight. I was looking at this to see if maybe somehow I could use this one, but this one's also broken. This is the old passenger headlight. So I might just grab the whole assembly. I'm not sure yet, but there's no way I can use this, which means that the new headlight's just not going to sit in there like it should. And then on this one here, there's this little metal bracket that you can see that hole right there is a little metal bracket that's supposed to hold the headlight in. So now if I do reinstall this, it'll only be holding in here and here, and I'd like to just do this all properly. You can see that little metal bracket right there on this headlight. So I need to grab that little metal bracket and at least the new bracket, this plastic bracket thing, and maybe just the headlight too, because if I try and separate them out when on the brake. Time for a junkyard run. The middle of the day in the Arizona summer. This is gonna be great. If you guys missed one of my previous videos, this is a 91 SPG that showed up here, which SPGs 900s in general never show up at the yard. So I got a few things off it. Go check that video if you want to see exactly what. This little bracket is still here that I need, that I should have just grabbed last time. And then this whole headlight is still here. So I'm gonna remove the headlight and remove the little bracket. New headlight and the necessary bracket. I'm just gonna buy the whole thing. And then we've also got the little bracket in here. I got all the spare hardware just to have it just in case, because I know that my corner light is also missing a couple bolts. So everything will be in exactly how it's supposed to be. But now it's time to head back home. All the hardware that's supposed to be there is there now, so you can see this is in there nice and good, just how it should be. Now we gotta do this side. Oh yeah, just enough clearance. You can see just how close that is on the corner light. So I think in the future I'll go back and try and get this up more, but if you look at the headlight, I mean, obviously it's not perfect, but there's plenty of clearance there. So wow, the front end of this car looks so much better. Looks like an actual car now. Got the little turbo badge, new headlight, new corner light, technically a new headlight over here too, and headlight bucket, and then the corner light as well. So now I have two spare headlight lenses that are fine. It's just these brackets are broken. I also have two spare bulbs, which is good in case they ever go out. Last thing I want to do in today's video is put this new mirror glass on. I want to get some really good, strong, double-sided tape, which I don't have. I currently only have like duct tape, masking tape, electrical tape. So I'm going to run up to the hardware store real quick, and then we'll be back, put this thing on. I'll have some good visibility again out of the passenger side. I also want to quickly reinstall my turbo badge now that I have some double-sided tape that I think will also work well with this. So I'm going to gently, with a plastic pry tool, try to scrape off this old adhesive. Doesn't need to be perfect, but all the big chunks at least we want to get off. On camera this might not look any better to you guys, but trust me, it's a lot better. This is all pretty flat on here for the most part. Now I'm going to do the same thing to the back of the badge, and there's a ton of adhesive on the back of that. That's definitely a good thumb workout, but I've got this pretty smoothed out. So now we just need to apply all the double-sided tape and cut it up as needed. Here's what I figured might be the best way to do this. Since this double-sided tape almost is perfectly the length, I think I'm going to put the one side down here, cut it, and then just use a X-Acto knife to cut off all the extra around the side, because otherwise I'm gonna have to cut up a bunch of little pieces, and that just seems like a lot of work. So I found the easiest way to do this is by flipping the logo over and cutting nearby the areas that you need to, like so. Obviously it doesn't need to be perfect because it's on the back side. But yeah, there we go, that's all cut out. I put a little bit extra up here on the T, or actually that's the B. And I think we're ready to peel all this off and put it on the car. That is, wow, that is really well on there. I don't think that's coming off. Looks great. So, I think today has been a extremely productive video. Got the turbo badge back on, and this whole front end just looks miles better. I mean, it looks like an actual car now. So excited with how this front end turned out. I'm so happy knowing that there's no missing bolts, there's no Haggard jobs up here. This is perfectly OEM, exactly how it should be. And of course, some visibility for when I finally do start driving it a little bit more and actually registering it. But in the next video, what you guys are going to see is something a little bit interesting. And I've got that over here. You can see all my oil spots. Yeah, just ignore that. We're going to be installing this battery heat shield for one. We're also going to be doing a compression test to hopefully see what's up with this blow-by. So fingers crossed it's nothing major. You guys should hopefully see that video sometime soon after this. With that being said, let me know what you guys think so far down below in the comments. And I'll see you all next time.